Assembler 8.js is a JavaScript assembly editor that works in the browser, and that's inspired by the assembly editor that's part of the Merlin 8 assembler for Apple II. So Assembler 8.js can import files from Merlin, so the Merlin text file format, and you can edit them here in the browser. It's all editable. And then you can, again, save them out and bring them back into Merlin. And you can do this with a text editor like VS Code, but it doesn't have a column-oriented mode that works the way you really want to work with assembly code. So to demonstrate how this all works, let's start typing something from scratch. So we'll do a little hello world here. And you can use either the tab key or the space bar to move from column to column, just like in Merlin. So let's add a label. And again, it knows where the columns are, so that's nice. Oops, let me back up there. So Shift Tab will back up. And then it also knows where to put comments, which is really nice. So you can type in a program from scratch like this. Or if you have the text from Merlin, you can go and grab that, copy it. We'll clear this, paste it in. Then it formats it into columns and allows you to work on it. And then when you want to get the text back, you click the Get Text button, loads it into this field down here. Then we can create a file. We'll call it, oops, not a folder. Using the Merlin naming convention, we'll call it tbell. Then we'll paste that code in and save that. Then we're going to use virtual2 to actually run Merlin and run the code. So we'll move over to the Finder here, and we're going to drag that tbell file we just made, this text file. We're going to copy that into a folder that we're then going to mount in virtual2 as a virtual floppy drive. So here we are over in virtual2. Let's mount that folder. So here we are. There's our tbell file. We'll open this up. If we do a catalog, then we will see our tbell file. So let's load that. We're going to read in a text file. We'll call it bell. We'll do a listing. There's our program. Let's assemble it. Okay, now that we've assembled it, we can save the object code. And we'll put that in a file called bell. Then we'll go to the Apple monitor with a call -151 and load the bell object code. And that's going to load it into address 300 because that's what's specified in the program here. And then let's do a listing. You can see our jump subroutine here, and then we'll run it. We hear the bell. Nice. So if we want to do something a little more complicated, first let's get back over here to Merlin. Go to the editor, we'll new. And then let's get a more complex program, this pattern keys program. And what this program does is it fills the high-res screen with a byte pattern based on the character that you hit on the keyboard. So I'll clear this program. So it's got a subroutine where it draws a byte pattern on the screen line by line, and then it's got a a little subroutine here where it loops listening for the keyboard input and then takes that value, and that's the byte pattern it draws on the screen. And let's see, there's some comments we need to add, and this editor really makes it easy to add comments for one thing. So we'll say this clears the screen. There's a couple pieces of this program that are not currently used, so we'll say, make a note of that for now. Oops, that's the wrong line. We're not using the rotate subroutine here at the moment. That's good for now. So let's get that text, which includes our comments. Copy that, and again we'll make a new file. We'll call this pat keys, the T on the front of it. Paste that in, save it. Then we're going to drag that onto our mounted drive. So back over here in Merlin, we'll do a catalog. Let's see if we've got it. T-pat keys. I don't see it, so what I'm going to do is unmount and remount this drive. So it wants to know that that's a text file. We're going to tell it it's Macintosh text so it knows how to deal with it. Pat keys, okay. Now if we catalog, we should see it. There it is. So let's read it. We'll do a listing, first 20 lines. Okay, there's our program with a couple of our comments we just added. So let's assemble this. And we'll save the object code to pat keys. We'll quit. We'll go back to the monitor. Oops. We'll load pat keys this time. And that's going to load into 800. So let's do a listing. So there's our program. Looks a little familiar. So then we'll run that. And that does this pattern. So now as I type keys, the pattern changes because the byte value for that key is getting drawn all over the screen. So that is the first pass at assembler.js. It's already a little bit useful. Next steps would be to hook it up to an actual assembler, JavaScript assembler, and start rewriting the code a bit. But I hope you give it a try, and feedback is welcome.